while Velma sleeps off her grudge against Lewis. It's the only way to ensure someone's actually watching when Blackjack's township awkwardness. Zimmerman is finally asleep. I wonder if he'll actually like it here. Clear skies at Blackjack's township. Lewis is still asleep, leaving a fragile Zimmerman. 51 days in Blackjack's township. Hard to relax in that bunk when a grizzly bear is currently trying. Zimmerman is resting, but the southwestern Coezera. Especially with a vengeful grizzly bear and a manic buck currently hunting for.
I'm eating, Floyd.
Pigging out again, Zimmerman.
Look at this, folks. Zimmerman is snoring while Velma and Lewis just radiate.
Mind your own business, Floyd.
Velma isn't letting the feast slide, and honestly,
Get lost, Zimmerman.
Velma's carving a sculpture, probably imagining Zimmerman's face. Velma's chipping away at a sculpture. Pure bliss in Blackjack. Zimmerman's hauling granite, probably dreaming of a world. Meanwhile, Lewis is unloading gear, likely counting every piece. Lewis is hauling corn, enjoying a rare moment of peace. Meanwhile, Zimmerman is scrubbing trash, playing the part of the... Velma's watching him do it, making sure...
Make me, Floyd.
Lewis is hitting the books, while Zimmerman just seethes in...
I'll shoot you, Zimmerman.
Try it, Floyd.
Get back to digging.
While Velma treats Zimmerman like an unpaid intern. It's the only way to ensure we have a budget for when. Velma's playing horseshoe, a classic division of labor. Lewis is currently hauling wood, likely imagining all the ways he could... Meanwhile, Zimmerman is chipping away at some granite, probably... Velma is emptying an egg box, the most high-stakes act... Meanwhile, Zimmerman is hacking at granite, clearly preferring the company of a rock. He's making steady progress, though Velma and Lewis are... Lewis is researching. One wonders if he's actually learning something. Speaking of hiding, Zimmerman is now treating herself to a fine meal. Zimmerman's really leaning into the luxury, which is a bold choice for a guy that...
I'm holding a gun, Floyd.
I have one too.
I'm faster, Floyd.
Velma is currently fighting a slab of granite.
Dig.
Velma is just... Enjoy the piece while Zimmerman and Floyd... Now Velma's hauling steel to the vent, pausing only... Zimmerman takes the insult with a steady gaze, though he's still... Lewis is buried in his research, blissfully ignoring the fact... He's traded the books for granite blocks now. "52 days in, and Zimmerman is spending his eve..." Zimmerman is chipping away at some granite, but will Velma... Velma is currently asleep, which is the only time Lewis can actually... Chat if you want to see Zimmerman actually survive or win Blackjack's Township. Let's get a shout out for Game Changer, but runs out. Zimmerman is fast asleep, blissfully ignore...
I'm eating, Floyd.
Stop calling me Floyd.
Make me, Floyd.
Now he's awake and stuffing his face with a fine meal.
Rot in hell, Zimmerman.
Now Zimmerman is ignoring Velma entirely to... Zimmerman's out here hacking at granite, while Velma... Velma is nearly through that granite slab, though she's clearly... Zimmerman is back at the rock, pretending the southwestern coesidu.
After you, Floyd.
My name is Velma.
Whatever you say, Floyd.
Shut it. Get digging.
Lewis is watching from a distance, likely calculating how many swings... Velma is smoothing the floor, probably imagining... Zimmerman is now smoothing the floor himself. He's doing it with the enthusiasm of... While Velma enjoys a meal that's probably better than anything we'll see in Blackjack's Township for a week, maybe you'll follow Game Chainwreck on the air.
I'm smoothing the floor.
Velma is tidying up the wall, treating the masonry... Zimmerman has taken over the task, applying a level of effort. Velma watches Lewis sleep. Listen up, chat. Drop a donation to Game Chain if you want to see if Zimmerman and Lewis have stopped hating each other. It's a long winter in Blackjack's Township, and we need the funds to keep... Look at Zimmerman sleeping. Pure bliss knowing Louis is awake. Velma is out cold, leaving Zimmerman and Louis. Just watch Zimmerman sleep, folks. A rare moment of peace for the southwestern coast. Meanwhile, Velma is treating herself to a fine meal, probably Velma's enjoying that fine meal, likely wishing Zimmerman would just own pride. Louis is grinding away at the kibble, maintain their lovely freezing silence. Louis is upgrading the menu to something edible, though it won't bridge the gap between... Velma's trying to train a mega sloth. Let's see if she has more luck with the wildlife than she does with Zimmerman.
I'm faster than you.
Still a coward, though.
Louis is busy researching, blissfully ignoring Zimmerman's desperate in Blackjack's township.
Keep dreaming, Floyd.
Shut up and work.
Now Velma is milking Goat Dough 1, while Zimmerman's usually reserved for lifelong enemies. Zimmerman is now smoothing a wall, though Velma's insistence that it's actually getting done. Zimmerman is smoothing the floor, which is a great fitting task for someone Velma finds this irritating. Velby lacks groid flooring for Velma to scrub. Pure bliss.
I am working.
Lewis is churning out kibble while Zimmerman insists he's riveting stuff here at Blackjack's Township. Hit subscribe for Game Changer, folks. It's the only way to ensure we have a front seat with whenever Zimmer and Velma finally stop pretending to tolerate. Velma is polishing the C-grade tiles now, making sure the floor is fine. Velma is tidying up the interior of Blackjack's Township.
This revolver feels heavy.
Velma is scrubbing away while Zimmerman just stands there, proving that being a defect. Velma's just ignoring Luis now, which is probably the only way they can coexist in this forest. Zimmerman has finally hit his limit because he couldn't save. Now he's on embarking on an insulting spree, which is just great for the mood at Zimmerman is currently auditing Velma's a real masterclass in social grace. Velma's ignoring him for now, though Luis is watching the exchange with an expression of... And there it is. Velma has finally snapped and she's taken out on Zimmerman in the... Now, Velma's decided a nap is the best response to the drama. Folks, watch Luis tend to Zimmerman. A space pirate playing nurse is the peak of... Luis is still hovering, and Zimmerman looks like he'd rather be anywhere else on gas water. Zimmerman is finally asleep, though a stray infection is always just one scratch away at Blackjack's township. Zimmerman is out cold, leaving Velma and Luis to maintain their... "54 days in Blackjack's and a snoring Luis. While Velma and Luis plays a silent game of hate staring in the fog, toss donation to... Now we've got Zimmerman playing Nurse to Velma, which is just a great way to keep the hatred fresh.
Put it down, Zimmerman.
Velma is finally asleep, leaving to keep their mutual dislike simmering. Luis is out cold, but does Velma ever actually forget a single... Luis is trying to buy her forgiveness with a fine meal, but... Luis hands over the plate, secretly one is enough to stop Velma hating him. Zimmerman is playing horseshoes while Velma just stands there, remembering every single thing he's... Zimmerman tosses another shoe, blissfully unaware that Velma is currently cataloguing his failures. Luis stirs the pot, wondering if Zimmerman will finally stop whining. Meanwhile, Zimmerman continues his nap, blissfully oblivious to the fact that while counting his sip...
My torso burns. Why survive?
Stop whining, Floyd.
Shut it, Zimmerman.
Go rot, Floyd.
Velma's current existential crisis is met with a classic Zimmerman response. Velma's resting, though she's still managing to be hostile towards Zimmerman from a bed. Zimmer knew a way he can successfully avoid Velma's grudge. Luis is making patch leather, which is likely the most productive thing happening at Blackjack's township. Velma's watching him work, probably wondering if the leather is more useful. Zimmerman is fast asleep, successfully in the simmering grudge Velma holds for him. Luis is stitching patch leather while Velma and Zimmerman just stand there hating each other. Velma's finally asleep, so while it's quiet at Blackjack's township, it's a safer bet than the healthcare on gas.
I'm already rotting, Zimmerman.
Velma and Luis are just standing there while Zimmerman naps. Now Velma is finally resting, leaving Luis to enjoy the sudden blip. Velma's napping, likely dreaming of a world where Zimmerman forgets how. Meanwhile, Zimmerman is catching some Z's, blissfully unaware that he's the most hated man in. Velma is now serving him a fine meal, presumably because she's too tired. $55's only reward is a fine meal and a grudge. Luis is in the kitchen prepping dinner, probably imagining Zimmerman's portion is slightly smaller. Velma is asleep, giving Blackjack's township a rare moment of peace. Too bad for Luis, who still has to deal with the lingering tension whenever Velma finally wakes up.
My leg still hurts.
At least Zimmerman is still asleep, sparing Velma from another round of his particular...